So I am back with another maps video. So today we're going to talk about 5 different maps, everything from minimum wage around the world. We're going to talk about cryptids in North America and a few others that I'm going to throw in there. So let's look at the maps. So the first map we're going to look at is minimum wage around the world. This is of June of 2023. I do know in some places minimum wage has gone up in the last year, so these numbers might not be 100% correct. So this is showing 67 countries. It has been moved into US dollars. Let's remember, as we're looking at this, the cost of living everywhere is different. So just because a country might have more money that they take home with a monthly minimum wage does not mean they're actually living a better life. So if you look at the list, you have the US at $1,550. You have Mexico at $350, Brazil down here at $232. You're going to have the UK at $1,705. Let's see, Poland I put on my list here. There we go. At $584. Nigeria down here at $68. You're going to have Taiwan at $800 and Australia at $2,022. So, like I said, we have to remember that minimum wage in a lot of places has gone up since January of 2023. And just because you make more money in a country doesn't mean you're going to have a higher life of living. Like my brother lives in Australia, but I also know things cost way more in Australia than they do here in the United States. So, minimum wage around the world. What do you think of these numbers? The next chart is most consumed alcoholic beverages by country. So these actually were not a surprise to me. You have the orangish color is beer. So you have like most of the Americas, Australia, you've got parts of Africa, and then parts of Europe where beer drinking in some of these countries is very, very heavy. The pink is wine. So you have like lower South Africa, parts of Europe like Germany, and France and Italy, and then you have some random countries spread throughout. Spirits like vodka is most of Asia, like Madagascar and a couple countries in the Southern Americas and in Africa and here in like the Middle East. And then other alcohols are a blue color, and then less than 0.1 liters consumption is the green. So there are some countries who are very, very, very limited on alcohol consumption. So where you live, does this ring true to the alcohol consumption of your country? Next are going to be North American cryptids. So cryptids are like magical creatures. They usually come with a story. So like where I am in West Virginia, we have the Mothman, who is out of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Some call him a harbor of death. Some say he's just your friendly neighborhood cryptid who tries to warn people before things go wrong. So other places you're going to have like the Sasquatch on the West Coast, but the Sasquatch has also been spotted throughout the rest of the United States. You're going to have like a skinwalker. You're going to have the Bear Lake Monster. You're going to have the Oklahoma octopus. In Mexico, you have the chupacabra. So there are multiple cryptids throughout North America. So do you live in an area where you have a cryptid legend? Let me know. So this is a 2022 chart of international students in the United States. So I'm going to zoom in and hopefully it will. Yeah, it's not going to work for me to zoom in. Tried, but didn't work. All right, anyway, so this is showing that a proportion of the international students in the United States has increased steadily from 1.5% of the country's total student population in 1960s to 5.5% from 2018 to 2020. In 2022, the distribution of international students by continent of origin was as followed. Asia was first, then the Americas, Europe, Africa, and then the Oceania area. So as you can see, most of the international students that come to the United States are from like China and then India, Asia. You got the percentages here. Well, China and then the rest of Asia and India has its own. And then the Americas, Europe, Africa, and the Oceania areas. The chart below shows the number of students in the United States in 2022 in international studies programs. Let's see see if I can zoom in a little. So like you have like almost 300,000 from China, 4,000 Australia, Brazil's at 15,000, Canada's at 27,000, India's at almost 200,000. So these are the international students studying here in the United States. So the last map we're going to look at is the Census Regions and Divisions of the United States. So when you do the census, the United States Census, it is divided into regions, and then each region is divided into different divisions. So you have the West region, which includes Alaska and Hawaii. So Hawaii, Alaska, Wyoming, or Washington, Oregon, and California are part of the Pacific Division of the West. And then you have these states here like Montana, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico that are part of the Mountain region of the West. Then you have the Midwest. So you have a West North Central and an East North Central in the Midwest. So like the West North Central are like Minnesota, Nebraska, Kansas. And the East North Central is like Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio. When you go down to the South is divided into 3 regions: West South Central, East South Central, and South Atlantic. So West South Central will include like Texas and Oklahoma. East South Central is like Kentucky, Alabama, and then South Atlantic goes from Florida up to West Virginia and Maryland. And then finishing out, you have the East, the Northeast, which is divided into 2, which is Middle Atlantic and New England. Middle Atlantic has like New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and then New England has everybody else up the coast. So, did you know about the census regions and divisions, and which one do you live in? If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more videos like this one, please like, subscribe, and comment below with which map was your favorite.